Hey, what's up guys? You got PKS Young Laddery here, and today we're just gonna be doing like a chill commentary video. I hit 1800, 1817 on the OU ladder with that team that Gardock built, the Lele one, and I haven't been 1800 on OU in quite a while because I've been playing like multiple tiers, and I don't know, it just felt really good to get back up there. And he hit 1800, like well over 1800 with the same team actually, so shout outs to him for doing that and for also building it. And yeah, hold on, I think this was the game, so I'm gonna be doing like some commentary on this and on my draft league matches. So turn one, I go Lele, and I actually like make a very ambitious play, and I focus blast expecting Heatran to want to come out. I haven't really run into too much Celesteela on the OU ladder, and I lose my Lele turn one, which is like huge, and I'm thinking like, oh fuck, this is gonna be a huge like uphill battle now. He heavy slams me again, does a lot of damage. Luckily I'm able to hit this Stone Edge to remove the Celesteela, but I'm worried because I don't have a great way to switch into Heatran or kill Heatran anymore. I only have this Garchomp, so I have to preserve it. I go Toxapex. He cart crits me, takes a little bit of Rocky Helmet damage, and reveals that it's Shell Bell. I go Hard Chomp, get some lefties recovery, but I don't stay in here because, like I said, I need that Garchomp. Here what I do, I believe I just click Stealth Rock or trade rocks with him. Right. I just Leech Seed the Buzzwole. Oh wait, I think this might be... Oh yeah, this is the right game. I'm sorry, this is the right game. I have to let Pex go down because I can't switch anything in. Like I can't switch my Garchomp in because it'll die. So I opt to sack Pex, and then I just go Chomp. And I don't expect him to want to stay in, so I actually SD here, which is really lucky that I live that Earth Power. And he sacks the Heatran, which at this point in the game I'm thinking, oh great, now I can actually maybe win with my Volcarona because it can deal with these like everything else. I let Chomp go down because it did what it had to do, and then I just go right into Volcarona and I start Quiver Dancing up because this is bulky Volcarona, and I get the burn. So now I'm like, oh my god, this is crazy. Like I had such like a bad opening to this game, and now Volcarona is just gonna like clean up, and that's basically what ends up happening. I mean, Swampert doesn't have Toxic, as you'll find out on this turn. He just goes for Flip Turn. Here I believe I just kill this because I'm not trying to fuck with like a Rock Slide or something. And then I spam Roost, just trying to get out of range of like his attacks. I just keep Quiver Dancing up because I know that Swampert on the OU ladder is usually especially defensive. So I got one more Quiver Dance, and then I just try and roost off the damage. But yeah, I think you guys know what's gonna happen. I mean, Volcarona just wins here, so I mean, yeah, Bug Buzz, and then that's over. So yeah. Shout outs again to Guardian Arcanine for building that team because it's like the most consistent team that I've played with in OU in a long time. And yeah, gonna get into the draft league analysis. I ended up finishing third, which was like kind of disappointing, but also it's my very first draft league ever, so I don't know how upset I'm really allowed to be. And the last match I played was incredibly close. Which you'll see here in a moment. So yeah, alright, yeah. So this was the division semifinals me versus Devin, who actually went undefeated in the regular season. Now, going into this, the most terrifying thing for me, I feel, was Z Hypnosis Circuitry with Tail Glow. He didn't end up bringing that set, but it doesn't even matter because I have to play against this like it's that set, because if I don't and it is, I can just get swept. And what I mean by that is I always have to go Hatterene to potentially bounce a Hypnosis back, even though I'm like 90% positive it's Scarf, which it was Scarf, because that's the only set he really ran all season with it. But yeah, without any further ado, let's just dive into it here. Turn 1, I try to U-turn out on the Hoopa and kill it, because that would have one-shot it 100%, and he intelligently switches to Fortress. I made this Hatterene just fast enough to outspeed Fortress, but he doesn't stay in, which is smart, because if he had, he would have gotten Mystical Fired to the face. Here what I do, I believe I just Calm Mind up, because I can 1v1 this Tapu Fini due to the fact that I'm carrying Giga Drain on my Hatterene. Now here we find out that Hoopa is Assault Vest, so knowing that, I don't really want to stay in, because yeah, he's not taking enough from Draining Kiss. Unfortunately, he misses his 2 gunk shots in a row, which is like relatively significant. I DD up with Gyarados, and I go for the Surprise Power Whip to knock out the Tapu Fini. Here, I anticipate him to want to get Rocks. I didn't think he'd go for Toxic because Misty Terrain is up, so that was just a misplay on his part, but either way, I double out to Gyarados on what I think is going to be Pelipper, and I'm packing the Thunder on mixed Gyarados, and Pelipper lives with 3%, which is crazy. Here I just go hard for the Waterfall because it'll do significant damage to whatever he wants to bring in, and right here is where I was like, yes, I've most likely won the match at this point, because that was the thing I was most afraid of, like I said at the beginning, was Circuitry. And that was a tough turn for him, because he had to either go into Fortress and get 2-hit KO'd, or he had to go into this and get 2-hit KO'd, or he had to go into this and get 2-hit KO'd. And he didn't want to sack Pelipper, I guess, because he felt like he didn't have enough rain turns to win the game. So that was a tough turn. On Swampert, I go hard Rotom Wash because I do have Will-O-Wisp. Okay, it's Brick Break. I don't know why it has Brick Break. Devin, you have Super Power on that. If you're watching this, Super Power would have done more to Gara. Maybe he's packing Brick Break because he thinks it'll come in handy against screens, though, so it's like dual purpose. So I kind of understand that. Either way, Rotom Wash is defensive physically, and I put it on the team to handle Hoopa and to handle Swampert with Wisping. Here I just Volt out into, I believe, Grimmsnarl, right, and this Grimmsnarl does have Power Whip on it. It is the screen set, I think, pretty sure about the screen set, with just Power Whip as a coverage move, so I can tag the Swampert, but it doesn't end up coming down to that. Because he goes Fortress to force me out. I go back to Hat to bounce back the Rocks. Now here, that's really good for me because I'm thinking, oh great, well, not only do I get to bring his Fortress within range of dying on the next turn, but also his Pelipper will die on incoming and he won't be able to get any rain turns now. Unfortunately for me, he does Rapid Spin. Doesn't end up mattering in the long run, because with or without rain, this match is over. I can simply Calm Mind here and click Giga Drain and knock everything out. His Pelipper will outspeed me on this turn, but if he Roosts, Giga Drain becomes super effective because he loses his Flying typing and it gets knocked out regardless, which is what ends up happening. And now Swampert can't KO me in one, and it goes down to Giga Drain, and Fortress can't switch in on any attack at all because it's so low. And that's basically the end of the game right there. And that was Division Finals. There has never been a 6-0 in that group's history in Division Finals. So I made history, my first draft ever. Envy and Joey, put me in WBE. Put me in. But yeah. Anyways, so now we go on to the next match, which is not so I'm not so enthusiastic about. This was a tough one to prep for. I'm not gonna lie. The matchup, like, I want to say it's even-ish, but it felt difficult, like a little bit difficult, like a little bit out of my favor because Dracozolt can Bolt Beak without consequence. I don't have a ground type at all on my roster. The only thing that I have is Marowak with Lightning Rod, but Marowak is like not that great against his team in general. And I felt like I didn't really want to go with Trick Room route, so instead what I did was I went with Smeargle with counter, so it can deal with things like Scarf, Kartana, and Belly Drum, Soarpuff. He doesn't end up being Scarf Kartana, which completely throws me off. I'm going to be honest, he prepped for this match better than I prepped. I didn't have a whole lot of time to prepare. I'm not making excuses, I'm just saying, like, he prepped better than I did, regardless of, like, anything else. And the match, I'm just going to stop talking. I'm going to let you guys see what happens. So, basically, he leads Kartana. I make the mistake of assuming that it's Scarf, and I go right for the counter. He clicks Tailwind, and I basically double down on my decision, and I counter twice. He goes Meloetta. I decided to click Spore to put it to sleep. He predicts my, I don't know, maybe my Gyarados to want to come in or something. I'm not sure. But I get my rocks up, and it's going to be important. I really wanted rocks in this match because his Gengar is definitely Focus Sash. 100%. Now, I go into my Grimmsnarl, which I deceitfully named No Damage for You to make him think that, you know, it's the standard screen set. It's not. It's actually Scarf, and it's got a very interesting moveset on it. I go for Darkest Lariat. It fails to KO, and he gets to U-turn out, and then he goes Kartana, and what I do here is I just go hard Gyarados. Now, this turn sucked, because not only did he get the defog off, but he gets to kill my Gyarados here, which was really unfortunate. I probably should have just doubled back into Grimmsnarl, because it does have Burning Jealousy on it. I go for a Dark Pulse, anticipating Meloetta to want to come in. It doesn't even knock it out. Like, this is like a really rough point in the match for me. He goes into Gengar to try and 1v1 because I know it is definitely Scarf. Here, there's no way he's staying in, because I've revealed the fact that I'm Scarf at this point. So, instead what I do is I click Burning Jealousy to KO the Kartana because I'm anticipating him to want to switch into that to, you know, not get to a KO'd by Darkest Lariat, which is what ends up happening. He goes into Blastoise, so I go Slowking to try and 1v1 this because I believe it's a Shell Smasher. Turns out he's got Flip Turn, which I was not expecting. I go hard to Smeargle here as he clicks Sandstorm. I didn't see that coming either. He just came with like all the tech. I'm like playing on my feet at this point. He Ice Shards to knock out my Brocasso. That's an OG nickname that Shofu used to name his Smeargle, by the way. For those of you that are old school Shofu fans. I click Choice Scarf Power Whip because it's the only thing I can really go into on Mamoswine. He eject buttons out. I don't have a switch in. I'm forced to stay in here. And I go Hat because it's the only thing that can live a hit. And I believe I just Draining Kiss hard because I have to. Here I click Calm Mind. I am a Guava Berry on my Hatterene, which he activates here. Or Citrus Berry, sorry, not a Guava Berry. And I Draining Kiss into the Mamoswine. So I'm still out of Dracozolt Bolt Beak range, which is nice. I'm able to 1v1 this thing. Unfortunately, the endgame does not go my way, which you'll see in a second here. He thought he lost, by the way. I thought he lost too. But doesn't end up going that way. I'm Assault Vested Sassy, so I'm just trying to 1v1 this Blastoise, which is fine. I'm able to 1v1 it. I stay in on the Gengar in case it's Substitute, and I can't switch it hard into Gengar regardless, so I just stay in on the Shadow Ball. Now, here I know he's Focus Sash. This was like a roller coaster for me, because I'm like, okay, he's Focus Sash like I thought, but Shadow Ball didn't KO me, and I was like, oh my god, I won. Like, I survived the Shadow Ball, so like, I just outspeed and win. But no, he has Sucker Punch, and I completely forgot Gengar got that. So, I mean, shoutouts to Anders, man, I mean, he like fantastic work, both of you. Thanks, Ro, appreciate you. Yeah, man, he really prepped this shit like way better than I did. Like, I had a couple little techs like the Scarf, Grimsnarl, and stuff, but I mean, for the most part, like, the only other thing that was like techie was the counter on the Smeargle, but it didn't help me whatsoever. So like, I really had to play that like off the cuff, and considering that, I guess I can't be that upset. You know what I mean? Because it came down to literally 1 HP. He prepped better than me, and it was my very first draft ever, and I got third out of like I think 18 people. So I mean, it is what it is. I had a good season, and I'm looking forward to the next draft league, which will not be a random select draft league, which I'm happy for because I'd rather pick my own Pokemon. But yeah, guys, that's gonna be it for the video. It's gonna be a short video, but I just figured, you know, I got a positive response from the last video I did like this, and yeah, appreciate you as always. Please leave a like and subscribe. Peace.